You know those weird pages at the back of each one of the romantic country coloring books? The ones with like the poster fold out and stuff? Yeah, me neither. I've honestly never looked at them, but I was flipping through my books today and thought I should actually see what these things are. So today, we're gonna do one. Hello, colorists. Welcome to PencilStash, a weekly show all about coloring. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing to get all the new content, and be sure to hit that like button if you're enjoying my videos. Now, each one of the romantic country coloring books, each one of the three, has one of these, and they're all different, and I think it would be fun to do each one in separate videos. But today, we're just going to be focusing on the one in Romantic Country Volume 1, for lack of a better word. And this book's special activity is a 3D diorama type thingy. This is so cute. And all the individual pieces for it are on this fold-out poster. And I can't get the whole thing on camera at the same time, so let me tear it out and we can take a look at the whole thing. So it's a base, where kind of the bottom of the diorama would be, a backdrop, and then all these cute little characters that we can place within the scene. And if you remember from like 7th grade science fair, a diorama is like one of those shoebox type of scenes that you can kind of create, within like a little space. So this should be so fun. Now, the other option that they list to do with the things on this poster is just to color it and then hang it on your wall as a poster. But that doesn't sound like much fun, does it? So we are totally doing option 1, diorama. And of course, the very first thing that we have to do is color all of these pieces. And you guys know me, I'm a bit of a background junkie, so I'm starting with the backdrop, which are all these great trees. And it may not seem like a lot, but when you step back and actually look at the size of this poster and its individual components, this is a whole lot to color. It's kind of like doing 2 double spread pages all at once. And we can't just go really basic. I mean, we could, but again, where's the fun in that? We have to do this up. So we're going to put a lot of effort into each piece, and cross your fingers, I hope it's all worth it in the end. And if you guys are curious about the specific way that I color trees, my particular style, I have a whole video that I did just a few weeks ago that goes very much in depth, so check that out. But these trees are just skinny little things, so we're going to see how much detail and dimension we can pack in. And all the colors that I'm using right now, my bronze, my light umber, etc., are so short that I have to put them into a pencil extender just to be able to use them. Now, I already have backups of these colors, I think, but I refuse to pull them out and put them into rotation until their predecessors are literally too short to even use. Gotta use up your supplies. These things are expensive. So if you guys don't have a pencil extender, these are very useful. And I just have one of them, and I switch out the pencil in there as I'm using it. It's just a good little accessory to have. So I've packed in some color, both with bronze and the light umber, across pretty much the whole surface of the trunk, and then I'm just going to shade it with my sepia. And I'm just going to go right down the line until all the trunks are good to go. Now, for the tree canopy, we're just going to use a whole bunch of greens to give this very flat surface a little bit of life. And we'll focus the light colors where the light would be hitting, kind of at the edges. And then we'll add in some Crayola Outer Space, a dark navy blue, one of my favorites, on top of our greens, kind of towards the interior space of the canopy, kind of around the trunk area, for some deeper shading. And of course, again, on down the row until you get to this. And I like this, but I think we need a little bit more depth. So I'm going to add some shading to give that illusion of space between the trees with a bit of this dark French gray. And you'll see at some point, I've cut off the bottom of the poster where the base component was, just so that I could work with it a bit better. It was dangling off my desk and getting in the way, and I was so worried that I was going to crease it or bend it or something. So I just cut it off and put it aside to color in a little bit. Now, this is where I get kind of mad at myself because my trees were perfectly fine how they were, but I had the brilliant idea to blend out my greens. There was a bit of texture and some pencil lines visible, so I wanted to minimize that just a bit. So I started with my Prismacolor colorless blending pencil, only to realize that if I did all the trees with this, that my fingers would fall off. So I switched to blending with baby oil. And I mean, it's fine, it looks fine, but I did like the more muted tones of the raw colored pencils before I blended it. So, I mean, again, it's fine, but it's the only thing that I kind of regret doing. But, oh well. See what I mean? See the difference of the trees on the left that were blended and those on the right that were not? So, I don't know, I guess I prefer the ones on the right just again because those colors are a bit muted, but what do you guys think? Should I have blended it or should I have just left it alone? Now, let me know down in the comments. To blend or not to blend? Always the question. Anywho, when it was all done, this is what the background came out like. And my favorite part is, of course, these two little cute love bunnies down in the corner. They're adorable. And part 1 is done. On to part 2, our base layer. So this is the layer that will be flat on the bottom of the diorama. And you might notice I have placed a piece of paper underneath my coloring page, and that is because my desk is wood. And if I'm only coloring a single page directly on top of it, sometimes my pencils can pick up the texture of my desk, so keeping a scrap piece underneath there protects me from that. And I have to be honest, coloring little flowers and stuff is my least favorite part about coloring. Not at all my favorite. So when you have the opportunity to jazz up something like some of these just really basic hostas, some of these basic leaf shapes, just to make it a little bit more interesting to you, you should absolutely take that opportunity. Otherwise, I absolutely dread it. Plus, I'm just not really very good at it, so there's that. Now, as a placeholder for now, I've colored in the grassy area green, but don't worry, I'm not going to leave it like that. Something like that will just drive me nuts. However, because of what I'm doing and how I'm going to color it, I have to color the pathway before I can add back in that grassy texture. So, cart before the horse. And again, I could just do a very basic gray or kind of a beige dirt road, but again, I want this to be special. I want to have it be really cute. So we're going to do a flagstone design with our pencils. And again, I'm really bad at perspective, so I'm going to try to make our flagstones get a little bit smaller as they get more distant, and we'll just kind of see how it comes out. Now, just for the sake of time, we're going to do the pavers a light gray, and then the area between them, kind of that grout area, will be a darker gray. And if you left it like this, it would look very, very flat. So we'll line two sides of each paver with a darker colored pencil, just to give the illusion of an edge and just give it kind of a three-dimensional quality. It'll make it look a little bit more realistic. And realism has never really been my thing, but it helps. Now onto our grass texture. And the reason I wanted to do the pavers first was so that I could have the grass layer on top, so that it gives kind of the illusion that the grass is kind of growing up and around the things that are already here, like the plants and the pavers and all that good stuff. And the way that I do my grass blades is just kind of short little strokes, and I normally go bottom up instead of down. I just like the look that I get when I go in that direction for some reason. It's also easier on my wrist, and you just rinse, repeat until the whole grass area is covered. And finally, the last component, the people, the animals, and all the little things. These are my least favorite subjects to color for some weird reason, and I'm super nervous about coloring this castle. I don't want it to just be gray. I think that would be a little bit too one note, so I'll have to come up with something to make it a bit different, but not too different so that it doesn't look like a castle. I've already invested quite a lot of time into this piece already, and this is usually kind of the spot where my creativity and my effort level tend to go down right about now. But no, I can't think like that. I have to finish strong. We will definitely come up with something fun for this castle. But really, in the end, I just can't wait to put this thing together. It's really the part that I'm looking forward to. All right, I think I have an idea for this castle. We're going to do a couple of slate blue grays to give it some interest. Again, it's not gray, but it's not too much of a deviation from a traditional castle. But I do think that the blue will kind of make it pop a bit off of our green trees when we put this whole thing together. All right, all the 3 pieces are done. It only took me about maybe 6 hours in total, I think. I should time myself one of these days so that you guys can actually see how long these pages take. Oh, never mind. We're not actually done yet. I forgot I might want to add a little bit of something to each component just for fun. So I'm going to pull out our Posca pens, maybe some glitter if we're feeling frisky, and my gold and silver paint pens. And I'm going to use these on the flowers especially, just to jazz them up a little bit. Add a little bit of gold to our castle, kind of make it feel special. But no glitter. Not feeling frisky today, apparently. All right, everything is ready, so it's time to cut out our shapes. And don't forget, you need to cut out the little bases with the names on them with the shape, because that's the fold point where we are going to be attaching it to the base. So those aren't going to be visible, but that's going to be the spot where we put our glue and kind of fold it over so that we don't see it, but so that it sticks to the base. All right, so I'm a Dumbo. I didn't follow my own advice. On this background page, I started cutting in the wrong spot, but no biggie. Nothing a good piece of Scotch tape won't fix. Good as new. All right, here's the fun part. We can start assembling. And so first thing, all the pieces need to be folded along that sort of tagline down there at the bottom. Now they all have a spot to sit on the base, with a little help from some super glue, of course. And I'm just using some white school glue. Now this background piece is designed to hinge in the center. That's why there's this little dotted line here at the base, so that you can cut it and then it will sit on an angle and you can kind of place it on the base wherever you want to. Let's place the castle at the end of the road. That makes sense, right? Oh, uh-oh, castle's tipping. Let's put a little spot of glue at the top of this turret to kind of pin it in place against the background. It's close enough to the background where that's not a big deal. And we'll place Elena on the road, kind of looking up at the castle. Where to put this little rose bush? Everywhere I put it, it kind of blocks something, either on the background or the base that I really, really like. I don't want... Oh, Elena's tipping. Go home, Elena. You're drunk. Look at her. It's even funnier when you speed up the video because she's just slowly tipping forward. And shoot, so I came up with a pretty clever way to get her to stand up, but of course I forgot to film it. So in short, I rolled a long piece of heavy weighted paper into a hollow rectangle, and then I glued that down behind her to act as kind of a support piece. Then I glued her to that support piece, and voila, she sobered right up. Here it is, it's all done. It's so stinking cute. I just love it. I can't believe it took me this long to realize that this project was even in the book. And my favorite part is that I was able to fit in all the pieces and I didn't have to cover up any of my favorite parts, like the little love bunnies on the background or the hostas on the base. Fun, fun, fun. I can't wait to do the projects in the other books. I think they're different yet kind of similar to this one, but that's a topic for another video. Thanks for watching today, guys. If you enjoyed this video, hit the thumbs up button and check out the rest of my channel for more fun coloring tutorials. I'll see y'all next time.